What's up, guys? On today's episode of Bourbon Budz, we have Full Circle Entertainment in the house, Mr. Kevin Harris and Miss Brandi Fontana. We also have our special guest host, Mr. Ben Kleber, our lead guitar player for them guys. So Mr. John is out for this episode, unfortunately. He's down with the flu. And you know what? Keep that shit at your house, because we don't want it over here. So guys, on today's episode, while we're going to talk about the local music scene and everything that's going on with Full Circle Entertainment, we're also going to review the very special E.H. Taylor Small Batch, one of my personal favorites. And actually, Miss Brandi picked that out as her selection today to try. So we're going to give it a shot. So before we dig into this interview, guys, we want to give a huge shout out to T3 Treasures and Gifts for being our very first sponsor on Bourbon Budz. T3 Treasures and Gifts makes our personalized Glencairn glasses. She also provided these very beautiful coasters that are wood engraved, and they're absolutely beautiful. So for all of your engraving, all of your personalizing needs, please look up T3 Treasures and Gifts. Huge shout out to Tammy Wade. All right, guys, so before we get into this pour of E.H. Taylor Small Batch, I'm going to let Kevin and Brandi explain a little bit to you guys about what Full Circle Entertainment has going on today.
Really? No, go.
So,
All right. Well, Full Circle Entertainment is a booking agency management group focusing on career development, trying to help the bands make music a business. That's one thing that we see a lot now is it's all fun and dandy to go out and play, have a good time, write music, record. But what are you doing as a business? Do you have the LLC? Do you have the bank account? Do you have the funds going to the right place, or is it just going into a pool and you're trying to figure out where to go? So we're here to help on that end of the business. Plus, we have agents, and we have a small booking agency focusing mostly in the Southeast region, but we are expanding as we speak.
You know, that's great, Kevin. And, you know, as a local band, a lot of people don't understand how any of that kind of stuff works. But being a part of them guys are also a part of Full Circle Entertainment as well, along with bands like Envision, Transient, The Heavy Strides, and recently added Closure. Huge lineup of bands. Make sure you go check out Full Circle Entertainment on
Midnight
Facebook.
Fracture.
Midnight Fracture as well. We cannot
Midnight
leave our
Fracture.
brothers in Midnight Fracture out. Make sure you go check out Full Circle Entertainment on Facebook. Also on their website is
Full Circle Official.
FullCircleOfficial.com.
Yeah.
Make sure you check that out. Shameless plug. Go to themguysofficial.com too. Please.
Definitely check them out. So it's a great lineup. We've got 8 bands on there, as you were talking with them guys. Envision, 7, Transient, Brendan Starr, Closure, Midnight Fracture, The Heavy Strides. And it's a great collection of, it all sits in one genre, but it's so different. It's so many different subs to that genre that you could put that band together or put all those bands together in a show, and you cover almost every genre of rock as we go through it, because the Heavy Strides are the Southern rock band, and we go up to you guys and some of Envision where it gets a little heavier into the metal part of it, and with Transient, and then you got some of the mainstream rock as well with Brendan Starr. So it's a great collection of rock music, and we can't wait to add more in 2025.
You know, I couldn't agree more. So one of the things as them guys that we are very proud of is that we fit the mold with so many different genres, so many different people. And one of the things we take the most pride in is that we get to share the stage with so many different amazing artists, you know, from the Silver Doses and She Might Be a Beast with a little bit of the punk, all the way up to the No End in Sight with our brothers in the GCMA and everything in between. And, you know, that is a huge part of this local community growing and succeeding, is everybody being able to collaborate together and work together. I think from my experience with Full Circle Entertainment is that brings that kind of level of cooperation to the table that a lot of people don't understand how important that is. And you guys make it a point to make that heard across the board, that everybody sees it. We are one big happy family.
That goes into the one thing that we did this week was partnering with KYE Apparel, and it stands for Kill Your Ego. And one thing that Full Circle stands for is it's all about the music. We want the egos gone. You get the egos gone, and then people start to enjoy music more, and you enjoy working with each other, playing with each other. And once those egos are gone, it's a whole different ballgame.
So huge shout out to KYE. That is our brother Nathaniel Churchwell. He's the ex-drummer of Envision. He's moved on to bigger and better things in his life. Huge shout out to you, Nathaniel. Y'all go check out KYE Apparel. And look, get your Full Circle apparel while you're on. So one of the things, the last thing I would like to talk about before we get into this bottle of E.H. Taylor, because trust me, you know, we're all here for bourbon, right? And bourbon is so the last thing I want to talk about before we get into this E.H. Taylor bottle right here is the fact that in a couple weeks, we're actually going out to Nashville to the Grand Ole Opry, the Josie Music Awards, which is the biggest music award ceremony in independent music. It's basically the Grammys for independent artists. Us and them guys, we are nominated for 3 different awards. Some friends of ours, Closure, another band from Full Circle, is also nominated for some awards. But our friends in Full Circle Entertainment are going to be out in Nashville with us. And one of the things we can say is that it's a huge honor for us to even be included in the Josie Music Awards, much less nominated, you know, for a couple awards. So for you guys, what does these nominations in the Josies mean for us bands as well as Full Circle Entertainment?
I'm super excited. I am Tennessee born and raised. So going to Nashville, where I lived for over 10 years, is kind of coming back full circle to me. And I'm super excited to share this with them guys and with Closure. It's kind of very nostalgic to go back to my hometown and show what we've got from the coast here. So just going back and being back in Nashville and being home is going to be, it brings a lot to the table. And I'm so excited for them to see what Nashville has to offer, because it's going to just get bigger. And all these connections, and we're meeting up with several people in Nashville that I'm friends with and that are a part of the small market radio. So it's just all coming around, and it's great to watch, and it's great to be a part of. And I'm thankful for these guys.
Them guys.
Likewise.
I think as far as the bands being nominated for the Josie Awards, it's a nice stepping stone for the bands. But I will tell you this, not only with you guys in Closure, but a former Full Circle band, Love the Hate, is also nominated in there as well.
That's right.
The band's no longer, but they were nominated when they were a Full Circle Entertainment band. But I think just the opportunity for you guys to go, be able to rub elbows in the pre-party, and with the people that put on the Josie Awards and the people that are going to be there from within the industry, I think it's a very big deal, because they also do photographers. I believe her name is skipping my mind right now, but she is a photographer in Ocean Springs. She's one of the photographers nominated with the Josie Awards.
I want to say she shot at Dirty 30
Yes.
last year.
She did.
Is it Samantha Overby?
Yes.
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 I thought
Yes,
so.
Yeah, and I want to say she won last year.
she did.
Hell yeah.
Um,
So she's
and-
an alum this year. She's going to be Josie Music Awards
Right.
alum.
and one of our friends that won last year, the Almas,
That's
they're
right.
nominated again, so they're going to be there as well. So it's going to be a good opportunity for all of us just to see friends and meet new friends and have new connections.
So he said a mouthful when he said, you know, get to see friends and meet new friends. One of our mottos as a band is, you know, we don't meet strangers, we meet friends. Everybody we come across as friends. Whether you want to be our friend or not, we're going to treat you accordingly. And that's what it's all about. It's one big happy music community. We believe that everybody involved in all of this is the best, and fuck the rest. You know what? Fuck the rest. Because you know what? If you don't support what we do, you're probably part of the problem. It's just the way it is. So that being said, we're
Is it
going to
time
dig
to
into this.
taste?
We're going to dig into the C.H.
time
Taylor.
to taste.
So, you know, just a disclosure, our brother Kevin does not drink. We're okay with that. So we're going to do the drinking for him.
I've got it.
We got this.
Don't trust me, she does.
So for all of you that are here for bourbon, we're going to give you guys a couple keynotes. Most people know everything you need to know about E.H. Taylor Small Batch. So E.H. Taylor Small Batch is bottled in bond, so it's 100 proof. The mash bill is not made very clear because it could be multiple mash bills, but the most common mash bill is mash bill 1, which is less than 10% rye. They don't give you a whole lot more details because, quite frankly, if you knew too much about it, you can make it yourself. We don't want to have that happen. So for all of you that have seen previous Bourbon Budz episodes, you know that we rank our bourbons based on a 1 to 20 scale. And normally me and John, we each rank it 1 to 10. We add our two rankings together, gives us our best score out of 20. But today, since we've got our special guest, Miss Brandi, and we've also got our special guest host, Mr. Ben Kleber, we're going to do a 1 out of 30. So we're each going to rank it 1 to 10. We're going to add the 3 together, and we're going to rank it out of 30. So
Yep.
let us get into it. Today's pour is E.H. Taylor Small Batch. All right, guys. So here's our pour of E.H. Taylor Small Batch, bottled in bond. Cheers. Oh, so on the nose, I get very, very sweet. Very sweet.
It's caramelly.
So yeah, so I'm with you, Ben. On the nose, I get a little caramel. I definitely get some oak notes.
For sure.
It's a very, very pleasant nose aroma. It's not harsh by any means.
No, it's still got a little spice.
It smells
It's
like it's a
a
little
little
spice.
salsa.
It's a spice girl.
Yeah.
I don't get tomato, but
Okay.
you know.
Tomato.
Hey, look, and that's the good thing about bourbon is no matter what you think and
Baby
what you
spice.
feel, it's subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So I personally love the nose. Let's see what it tastes like.
Cheers.
Oh,
So it
that's-
didn't taste like
Ooh.
it smells.
It's super smooth.
Super smooth.
It's smooth.
It's smooth.
So my initial thought when it comes to the palate is got a little sweet, nothing overbearingly sweet. I'm not a huge fan of sweet. I kind of like that mid-range to lower mid-range sweet. It's got a little caramel.
I get the vanilla like midway through.
Yeah.
Yes.
I get a little vanilla, but
Faint.
the little spiciness you get on the nose, you really don't get it. Like to me, now don't get me wrong, I've had a few drinks today, and on top of that, I've been drinking bourbon a while. I don't get the ethanol on the taste. I feel like it is a very, very smooth pour. I would put this in the same realm of an Eagle Rare or even like some of the higher end Wellers. Like this is definitely up there. And I know it's all the same distillery, but I mean, that goes to show you what kind of shit they're doing at Buffalo Trace. I mean, it's really good. What you think, Ben?
Well, firstly, it like I said, for me, it doesn't smell like it tastes. For me, it smells caramel, but tastes vanilla. The more I drink it, the more vanilla I get.
And you also drinking it on ice. So you prefer
Yeah, fair
bourbon on
enough.
ice versus we're doing neat. And look, that affects everything. The glass you're drinking in affects everything. I mean, when you don't get as much aroma on the nose, it affects the way it tastes. And it all matters.
I don't get so much of the oak, but it's there.
So I feel like at 100 proof, you would think there'd be a little more barrel on it at 100 proof, but the reality is 100 proof is not a real high proof. It's more of a mid-range proof. It's not really the barrel proof kind of proof. So when you start getting to the barrel strength, stuff like that you typically in the 120, 130 range. The 100 proof is the bottled in bond. I mean, all bottled in bond is 100 proof. And truth be told, I found that most bottled in bonds are pretty smooth. This being one of those exceptions that not only is it smooth, it's very flavorful, very tasty, not harsh at all. I feel like it's a very pleasant pour. It's not
Yeah.
one of those, oh shit, what just happened.
Right.
It's more of
Right.
a, man, that is
It's not
good.
like overwhelming
Yeah,
or anything.
it's not overwhelming.
It's pleasant.
Buffalo Trace has been going toward, I feel like, females to a degree. And I know that sounds a little bit crazy, but like we have this palate that is a little bit softer than you guys,
Right.
and it still appeals to us as well. Like there's a certain value to this that is completely different than a lot of them that I do. But anything Buffalo Trace, Weller, E.H. Taylor, Buffalo Trace itself.
And I have to throw Eagle Rare in there because
Yeah.
Eagle Rare to me has been top 5 of everything I've ever tasted. So, and I mean, this competes with it.
It does.
I have to agree with that. The only thing I'm going to say is, as a barrel strength bourbon drinker myself, I love the higher proof stuff. I like that slight harshness because I find you get a more a bodyful flavor.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, I think being that kind of bourbon drinker, I can genuinely enjoy this kind of pour. This is one of those pours that you know you're not going to get hit in the face when you get it,
Right.
but it's pleasant. It's one of those, hey, I had a long day. I can sit on the couch, and it's just going to be pleasant. And, you know, it doesn't matter how manly you are, how bourbony and how barrel strengthy you are. The fact of the matter is everybody enjoys a pleasant drink.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody I know can talk all the shit they want, but they're going to drink it truly when it's given to them. You know what? Because it tastes good. Fuck that. It tastes good. But to me, you know, coming from the other side of it, I don't like the sweet stuff. I'm more of the natural, the oaky stuff. I like the barrel flavor stuff. I get a little of the oak, but nothing overwhelming.
Right.
But my favorite part is that it's not caramel vanilla punching you in the face. It's not, man, it's full of sugar. It's more of a, hey, I'm here, but I'm gone. You know, you get that little hint of sugar, and it kind of fades away. I enjoy that. Look, that's real. I mean, look,
I was just thinking that's how I like some of my friends.
Right.
there for a second and then gone.
Right. And you know,
You need better friends.
it's crazy to think that, but the truth of it is, I've had some bourbons. I'll use an example. Penelope Rio, to me, is sweet. I don't like it. I love Penelope. You can see on my shelf, I have a Penelope spread from hell. I love Penelope. I do not like Penelope Rio. Penelope Rio is sweet. One of my favorite pours to date was this Horse Soldier, which is a veteran-owned company. The cash strength was a very earthy flavor. And it's hardly sweet at all. That's one of my favorite pours. My favorite thing about this bottle is, while it has compliments of a bottle like this Horse Soldier, it has a subtle sweet. It smells sweeter to me than what it tastes. It's very smooth, very pleasant, nothing overwhelming. I agree with you, Brandi. It appeals to some of the women. It appeals to the people that may not be heavy bourbon drinkers.
It's sensual. It's soft. There's a
In the music industry, we call that commercialized.
It's a good drinking whiskey.
But it's a good drinking. It's a good drinking bourbon.
We call that Nickelback.
Right. We call it. Hey, fuck that. I'm through
There
with
you
standing in line.
Fire.
I just got kicked out my own house. Now, look, in all seriousness, this is a pleasant pour. So here's what we're gonna do. Ben, we're gonna start with you. So you're gonna rank it from 1 to 10, 10 being the best.
I'm
Now-
gonna go. That's tough. I'm gonna go 7.
All right. So Ben's going solid 7. So keep in mind, we're gonna do best out of 30 here. We're gonna each do it, and we're gonna go best out of 30. So Brandi, what are you thinking?
honestly, I'm gonna go an 8 on this one.
All right. So far we're at a 15 out of 20, and it's up to me to see where we're gonna land. Truth is, I've ranked quite a few bourbons up in the 7, 8s. This is not my first time having E.H. Taylor small batch. I can honestly say that small batch E.H. Taylor is one of my all-time favorites. It is a very well-rounded bourbon. On the nose, it's incredible. On the palate, it's incredible, and on the finish, it's incredible. I'm going a 9, and
Hey.
I'm gonna say that that's pretty much as close as I've gotten so far to a perfect score on a bourbon, with the exception of the Peerless Toasted. So I'm gonna
Good
give it a
pick.
9. So we're gonna take the
Good pick.
24 out of 30. Honestly, you know, it's really tough to get a real high score because not everybody thinks the same. I think 24 out of 30 is fair, maybe a little low, but in my personal opinion, I think that's at minimum
good.
fair. It's a very good pour. So now that we have ranked this bourbon, E.H. Taylor small batch, bottled in bond, 24 out of 30. Highly recommend. This bottle goes at MSRP for about 50 to 60 bucks. On secondary, it's right at 80 to 100 bucks. If somebody's trying to sell it for 200, don't pay for it. But if you can get it for 100 bucks or less, I would absolutely buy this bottle. I would highly recommend you getting this bottle. Now,
It's good.
that's the bourbon side of these things. So let's get into the local music scene. We've got you guys in all the way from Mobile, Alabama, and you know, obviously, we're
Let
not
me
going
get
to sit here.
comfortable here.
Yeah, we're not going to sit here and talk about Coke Zero because you know we're not sponsored by Coke yet. But so look, we've been in this music industry. We've been in local music for roughly 5 years now. Some of us have been in local music for a very long. It feels like a lifetime. I mean, I've been in this music scene, writing music and performing for going on 21 years. Our singer Nick has been in this, you know, since he's 15, 16 years old. He's got almost 16 years. Ben's fairly new to the live scene of what we do. Ben's played a lot of live music, but you know, having been in this industry for as long as I've been, there's been a few constants, not always good. I want you guys' opinion on what would you like to see out of the local music scene. And when I say local, you know, I don't consider it to be Thibodaux, Chack Bay area. I'm talking local. We're the Gulf Coast. Gulf Coast to us is local. What would you like to see moving forward on the Gulf Coast in our music scene?
I would like to see unity. I have been in the Gulf Coast scene since 2001, which seems like a long time to me. I got brought in by a cover band, Trigger Proof, back Noah's Rain before that, back in the day. And ever since then, it's been a constant watch and struggle on the coast. But I would like everyone to see more unity within everybody else because these shows don't happen without people coming together. Like, does it not?
I've been in the local music scene on the Mississippi coast since 1999. I took over the Homegrown Show on WCPR in 2002, and still going with it. Had a couple year hiatus, but still going with it. But I'll go back to 99, 2000.
Yes.
Um,
MTV.
So, well, not only that, but that's when Three Doors Down was a local band.
Yes.
There was another band called Level with the Ground. And then later on, following that, was Watership Down that turned into Atom Ship. And then there's
Yes.
12 Stones that came out of Metairie. They all ended up getting wind-up record deals and Universal Music deals and things like that. And at that time, they all wanted to play with each other. They wanted to be around each other. They wanted to learn
Yes.
from each other. They wanted that iron sharpens iron. Whatever they're doing, we want to do it better. They're not doing anything bad. We just want to do better. They want us to do better because that forces them to do better.
Yeah.
And today it's we want to do better because we want to be better than them.
Yes.
Right.
Not we want to do better to make them do better. So that's where when she's talking unity, I would like to see the bands care more about each other, care more about their craft. I would love to see two guitarists from two different bands sitting down and just riffing together and coming up with ideas, and they can take it to wherever they want to take it. But it all goes to the iron sharpens iron. Everybody's going to get better because everybody gets better.
That's right.
If everybody's getting better to be better than that other person, you'll see this total music scene just fall apart quicker.
And that's what it used to be. Probably about 14 years ago, the Gulf Coast had probably the strongest music family that I've ever seen. And I was an outsider. I'm from Tennessee. Like, I came down here, I'm complete outsider, but they enveloped me into the scene, and I lived with Touching the Absolute, and they were part of the 2009,
5, 6, 7,
9,
somewhere in
6,
there.
7, yeah. So I mean, it's such Joey Culver, it's such Nick Ray. Like, these are names that are household to our scene. But it's changed quite a bit, and I'm excited about these new faces. We've
Well,
got new faces right here.
I've got to give credit to you. I think you're right, and I think back in that day it was very strong. But here's something that I can say from my perspective as being part of the Gulf Coast music scene is musically, I don't know if there's ever been a time that the Gulf Coast music scene is as strong as it is today.
No.
I will agree with you on that.
Yeah.
The Gulf Coast music scene is pushing out some of the best
Yes.
music. And, I mean, you heard it last night when you were listening to that show. People were playing bands out of Atlanta and
Yeah.
things like that. And then they started rolling into the Envision track and the Them Guys track, and it perked people's ears and it got their attention. So if you go back to when you had the early Three Doors Down where they recorded at Holly House Recording Studios in Clyde Holly.
Yes.
Clyde Holly was it at that point. Everybody went and got their stuff done with Clyde Holly. Then it went from Clyde Holly to Mark Black. And everybody went to Mark Black, and people still go to Mark Black. Mark Black is really good at what he does. But now you start to see with the enhancements of being able to do stuff on your phones and being able to do a studio in your house and finding the right people that know how to use that equipment, you can get good production in a house instead of having to go pay money at a studio and stuff like that.
We're guilty.
So,
I have a studio.
and I think that's allowing bands to be more creative because they're being able to do it themselves instead of going into a studio and a producer going, no, you need to do it this way. And then you're getting produced by somebody who's produced 4 or 5 other bands, and now all y'all motherfuckers sound exactly the same.
Or look the same.
Everything that gets released sounds the exact same. And
Yes.
but when you're doing it yourself, you get to do it the way you want to do it.
Right.
And you get to enjoy the freedom of recording and producing your own stuff. And I think being able to do that nowadays allows that music to just spread out and get a whole lot better. And as it grows out and it keeps stepping out and people are like, hey, how'd you do that? Or you recommend somebody that you worked with to somebody else, and it's a whole type of different band and it's a different musical style than what you guys are. So you're still getting that different sound out of it. But going to the same producer, oh, he makes rock hits. You know what? He's had 4 songs on Serious Octane. And you know what? That 5th one's going to sound exactly the same and nobody's going to give a
First
fuck.
4.
So
Well, speaking on that point,
Ouch.
so we're one of the bands that can say that we've done both sides of the spectrum. So we started out our music endeavor when we started recording with our brother and Dwayne Semino at OCD Production in Metairie. Dwayne is, famous for recording down. He works with Phil Anselmo. He does all the Crowbar stuff. He does all of Kurt Weinstein's solo stuff. Dwayne is incredible. And Dwayne did phenomenal things for us. And then Ross stepped into the plate for us and asked us if we'd be willing to let him produce us and record us on his terms. And conveniently enough, the room we are sitting in right now is where our fourth studio album is being recorded. All the drums are being done in this room. It's got great acoustics. So we've been on both sides of the spectrum. One of the things that we've learned in this, and you guys have been to quite a few of our shows, and we try to ask as many people's opinion as we can, but it's some people don't take it as subjectively as you'd like. One of the things that we bring to the table when we do our shows is we offer full production. We offer lights, sound. It's not, hey, we're the headlining band, we're going to get our sound, you show up and do the best you can. We are going to offer you the works, because what we understand, and this was said actually by Mixed Alternative Magazine in one of our interviews recently, rising tides raise all ships.
Yep.
So
Yes.
where we come from, we're nobody. I'm Chet. This is Ben. We are nobody. We are them guys. Yeah, we've made some accomplishments, but we are nobody. One of the things that we've learned is that in order for our shows to be successful, the people playing music with us on this stage has to be successful.
Yes.
I can't look for bands that I hope to be worse than me. I can't look for bands that, hey, I know I can outperform. I don't want that. I want to get on stage with the best of the best every night. Every single night that I get on stage, I want to perform with the best on the Gulf Coast. I want to perform with the best performers you can put in front of me. It makes me excel. It makes him excel. It makes everybody have a better turnout all night long. One of the pride things that I take in the 4 years or so I've been doing this actively is, I've been 20 plus years, but in 4 years, I've been handling all of our bookings. I've been handling all of our PR stuff, just about everything. The one thing that I take a lot of pride in is most of our fans and friends reach out to me and say, holy fuck, who put this show on? And most of them, well, I did. And the reason I take pride is not because them guys had a great show. It's because fucking This Beating Heart showed up and blew the
Yes.
roof off the place. It's because we got to link up with our friends from Love to Hate from Mobile, came down to Louisiana somewhere, and blew the fucking roof off the place. It's because we link up with our brothers in Silverdos, and they exceeded every expectation we could have ever had for them, and they gained 30, 40 new fans. To me, that's more important than everything we can do as a band selectively. I think that every person in this music industry should be looking out for each and every person. And I think not only is our music on the Gulf Coast today stronger than it's probably ever been, I think we are in the right direction. I think there are a few hiccups here and there, but I think we are in the right direction of this partnership across the board. Look, we've got a great working relationship with quite a few bands.
Yes.
These bands stretch all the way down towards Tampa, Florida.
All
We've
the
got-
way up to Pennsylvania.
all the way up to Pennsylvania. We've got huge reach in Pennsylvania. Look, huge shout out to Miss Ann in Pennsylvania.
Brendan Starr.
Yeah, Brendan.
Right.
So Brendan's in Pennsylvania.
Yes.
So yeah, we're all on the same team. Ann is a blessing to everybody in the local music scene. We've got friends out in California, Pepper Gomez, who is Wake Up Music. She is phenomenal. So we've got the reach, but we need the partnership. And they come out from in the middle of nowhere looking at us and saying, look, I don't know you from the next person, but I'm going to support what you do. We need to be supporting each other. And I
Yeah.
think that we are this close to having that. But I think it starts with walking into a venue and looking at the people you're fixing to share the stage with and say, please blow the fucking roof off of this place. Let's show these people what this kind of show is supposed to look like. I think it starts with a sound man saying, nobody gets favoritism. This is about unity. And I want you, if you give me the best performance
Yes.
you've ever done, you are going to sound the best you have ever sounded. You're going to look the best you have ever looked. And everybody doing that together, it means everybody wins. That is our motto. If you come to a Them Guys show, you know that. If you come to a Full Circle Entertainment show, you
Yes.
know that we are all on the same team. You don't ever have to question that. But to me, all of these key highlight points, it all leads down to one thing: support each other. You know, we are in a situation where venues are dying. We're in a situation where the bar scene is gone to nothing. You know, we've been fortunate as them guys where we've been able to excel into some of these venues that rock and metal bands don't normally get into. We've been fortunate. And look, every time we do this, we grab a band. We grab the Drabs, the Silver Doses. We've brought Love the Hate. We brought Storage 24 from, you know, huge shout out to Storage 24. We grab as many bands as we can and we try to put them on what we can while we have them. But the fact is, it's hard. It's not an easy endeavor when venues and bands are, you know, bands are collapsing, venues are collapsing. The scene is falling apart, you know, all over the place as you look. And for some kind of strange reason, you look on the Gulf Coast and as many venues as we've lost in a 5-6 year period, we've gained that much more unity. We've gained that much more support. We've gained that much more clout as a whole. To me, that's incredible. I mean, in the 21 years I've been involved in live music, I can honestly say that it is an incredible group of people that we work with across the board. I mean, there are some hiccups here and there. We all deal with our indifferences. But the fact is, we all want the same thing. I want to call it success. I guess that's the word for it. We want success for each other.
Advancement.
So
Goals.
I think the only thing that I have left to say that I wanted to say earlier is the one thing that any local band can do is stay for the whole fucking show.
Yeah.
Amen.
If you're opening a show for a national, if you're opening the show for another group of locals, stay all the way through, show the fucking support, because I'm going to tell you, the bands pay attention when you walk out early. I'm just letting you know. The bands see it, the bands know it, the bands don't forget it, and they will fucking make you pay for it the rest of your career.
Yes.
That's a fact. We experienced that a few times. We've seen it a few times. Guys, if you're a part of a show, you're not just a tool. You are part of the show. You're expected to show up, do your part, and stay to the end, doing your part. If you don't understand that, you've got some evaluating to do. So guys, today has been Bourbon Budz with Full Circle Entertainment. We just reviewed E.H. Taylor Small Batch Bottle and Bond. We gave it a 24 out of 30.
I'm sober, so
it could have been higher. You know what? After I'm
Well, the more I drink it, the more I'm enjoying it.
We're enjoying it.
So we gave it a 24 out of 30. So guys, we gave E.H. Taylor a 24 out of 30. I think we're going to revisit that bottle because I don't think it got the love it should have got. But look, I'm Chet. This has been my special co-host, Ben. This is Kevin Harris and Brandi Fontana with Full Circle Entertainment. We love you guys. We appreciate all the support. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time. Cheers.
I thought we were in Louisiana. I thought it was Clay Bear.
No.
He's a climber.
It's close. Close enough.
Oh, jeez. All right.
Nick, you farted?
So
Stop.
I think it might have been Luna. Somebody shit.
So we're looking at more of the. I can't do this right now.
we're looking at more of the I am fucked up.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Let me get my shoes. Hold on.
You ready? Focus at the camera.
Are we supposed to be looking at the camera?
So if you guys are, yeah, that's how you see. That's how you look at the screen. You gotta look at the camera. Can you imagine his pictures? Look at his pictures. He's looking at outer space. No.
Listen, bro.
She's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
No, I'm spicy over here.
You see, I don't find that
She's
spicy.
definitely spicy. Don't mind me. I got my Coke.
He said his Coke tastes like cherry.
Yep. Wait a sec. The more you drink it, the more you enjoy it. Of course, it's fucking liquor.
You know what? You got it. Fair enough.
Ben Clay Bear.
Yeah. What the?